Good morning, boys and girls, and it is Thursday today, so let's get started with our date. And today's date is Thursday, the 11th of March, 2021. Thursday, the 11th of March, 2021. Let's take a quick look at our spellings as always, and I'm sure you'll be able to say these before me today. For, at, but, that, with, all, can. Very good. And I can't believe, boys and girls, we're almost at the end of another CVC booklet. Let's look at our words for today, or our sounds anyway, and then of course you blend them to make the word. H, O, P. B, E, O. Now those two L's join together to make one L sound. O. And the same with our S's here. They make one S sound. K, I, S. B, O, G. And on the other side, B, O, S. D, O, U. F, A, N. B, A, K. And we know that those two join together to make that K sound. Because we've looked at that before with our sound cards, haven't we? So that's B, A, K. Now over the page is tomorrow's work, but if you want to make a start on it today, you can, because there's quite a lot of pictures there you'll see, and we're trying to find the names of all of those pictures. Now, if this is too much for you this week, that's okay. You could maybe find 10 of the pictures. It's up to you. But if you have any time today, you could make a start on this. And what you're doing is going through each word and maybe with the help of someone at home, sound it out, say the word, and then try to find the word in the picture. So once you've found it, you can tick it or circle it, and then you tick the little box to say, yes, I found this one already. Okay, and see how many you can find. But if you think it's taking you too long, or mummy or daddy thinks it's a wee bit too much for you, that's fine. You could just do a few of the pictures and words. All right? Today we are unjumbling sentences again. And you know the way we do this. You can pull this page out of your pack and then you can cut it up and stick it in the correct order over the page. All right, so let's look at our words for today. Apples, red, are, the. Now remember, we always know that the first word in a sentence begins with a capital letter. So you look for a word that has a capital letter, and we know that the last word in a sentence ends with a full stop. So again, you look for the word that has a full stop at the end of it. And then you'll have found the first word and the last word of your sentence, and then you'll only have to put in the ones in the middle. Next one, very, the, bad, rain, is. And finally, he, puppy, lovely, is. So cut out and unjumble your sentences and make them correctly on the next page. And remember to try your best to cut them out yourself before asking for help. All right? Then we move on to our maths, and boys and girls, I would suggest that you watch the video that I have sent you today. The other video, I've sent you a second video on time. Watch that before you do this, okay? Because otherwise you might get a bit muddled, okay? Now, we are looking at time today, and we have learned about o'clock. And on our previous page, we drew o'clock times, just like 5 o'clock here. And we know that when it is an o'clock time, The minute hand, the long hand, points always at 12. And then the hour hand points at whatever o'clock time it is. So it points at 5 for 5 o'clock. It would point at 11 for 11 o'clock, and so on. So this is my own clock from home. What time is it on my clock? It's definitely an o'clock time because the big hand is pointing at 12. The little hand is pointing at 10. So it is 10 o'clock. Now what time is it? It's still an o'clock time. It is 1 o'clock. What time is it now? It is 3 o'clock. Now you may have spotted a third hand moving around really fast all the time. It counts the seconds, and seconds pass very quickly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've just counted 5 seconds. So seconds keep moving all the time, so that little hand keeps moving round and round. Now, as time passes, the minute hand starts to move a little bit too. Now, can you see it has moved from the very top of the clock? It has started to move a little bit. And now it has moved a little bit more. Time is passing all the time. So now it's no longer 3 o'clock. It's a little bit after 3 o'clock. And as the hand keeps moving slowly round the clock, it gets more and more time that has passed since 3 o'clock. Now, we're going to go right down to the bottom to 6. Now the hand has moved halfway around the clock. It started here and it moved right around to 6. Now when the long hand, the big hand, moves halfway around like this and points at 6, we call it half past. So we no longer say it is something o'clock, we say it is half past something because it's moved halfway around the clock. So this time is 3:30. The minute hand has moved halfway around the clock, and you can see now the hour hand is a little bit past 3 because it's not 3 o'clock anymore. Some time has passed. So again, this is another half past time. What time do you think it is? It is 7:30. So you can see the hour hand is not quite pointing at 7 anymore. It's a little bit past it. It's 7:30. So when the minute hand is pointing at 6, it is half past. So let's look at our clocks for today. Here are our clocks. Now some of them have an o'clock time and some of them have a half past time. And you have to write down which time it is. So what I would suggest you do, and if there's a grown-up with you, they can help you with this. What I would do is just look for the o'clock times first and do those, and then do your half past times after so you don't get muddled. So this one is o'clock. We'll do that one. That's a half past, isn't it? This one's o'clock. This one's o'clock because it's pointing at 12. We keep looking for the big hand pointing at 12. No. No. Yes. Nope. Yes. Well, that now, see that one? The big hand's pointing at 12. The little hand's just pointing at 6. But if the big hand's pointing at 12, it's o'clock. That's half past, and o'clock. So what I would suggest you do then is write down all your o'clock times. So what time is this? It's something o'clock, isn't it? It is 3 o'clock. So let's write that down. So I have written 3 o'clock. So that's my first clock done. Now I'm going to look for my next o'clock one. I've ticked it, haven't I? This one. And I would do the same here. I would write which o'clock time it is. And I'm sure you know which one it is. Once you have done all of your o'clock times, Then you can move on to your half past times, like this clock. We can see that the big hand is pointing at 6 and the little hand is just past 9. So this is a half past time, isn't it? It is half past 9. So we're going to write that down on the lines. And there I have written half past 9. Now you may need someone at home just to help you to spell that, to remember how to spell half past 9. And so you will look at all your half past clocks and you'll decide what time it is. And you're always going to start with the words half past for your half past clocks, okay? So that is our maths and literacy for today, boys and girls. Continue on with your reading, trying, as we know, to take an AR quiz once every week, and go on to Sumdog as well if you have time. And I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye bye.